ago or so, maybe a little just under that. Man, you guys can really rock it out. And I was like, so it's just one of those things. Like one of these days, like I got a whole slew of bands like that would I like to see. So I'd pretty much be making the tour, from Sheffield to Leeds to Manchester to here. Like, but yeah, you guys, I would first when I first saw it, because like obviously I heard you before because I talked to you on the air. But I was looking, it's like, this would be a badass show, because like even without hearing the band first off, just the way you guys kind of rocked it out and positioned yourselves on stage, and it's just it's got that kind of essentially, I know I've used the word a few times, but it's got that eclectic mix. You got one kind of really kind of moving with the bass, and the other one kind of goes rocking down the other side, and just kind of moving different aspects. And that's what kind of makes the music interesting. It's not just what you're playing, but a lot of it's based on, at least for people watching you, is like how you act on stage.
Yeah, presence.
So stage presence is a huge thing.
Is presence, isn't it? Which one did you see? Was it the one with the lab coats?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that was in a workshop.
That was really
that's the venue we're going to be playing our next gig, the same venue. So it's quite a good one there.
Nice.
There's some pictures of us horrendously drunk after that. We can send you those as well. Me with my bottom out.
You really don't want to see that.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. There's a few pictures of myself that I'm glad weren't taken or not heard of. My most recent one, not horrendously proud of. I kind of try to figure out how I ended up doing it, but not too long ago, and probably closer than you'd like to think. But yeah, I somehow I passed out my front lawn, so. I went.
Trousers around your ankles.
Unfortunately, not. Thankfully, you're.
I'm concerned about you now, Doctor.
No. I'd gone to a show, and the after party lasted a while. Then I got dropped off, and I just never made it to the front door. Just kind of sat down, so it was a good place. And about 3 hours later, I woke up with a wet face. Right, I was like, how to get out here? But it happens. Not all the time, so don't get me wrong. Not one of my proudest moments, but times like that are very few and far between for me, thankfully. Why? Because I'm getting too old, and it's a 2-day recovery. So next up, we're going to move into the next track you sent me, which they said it's going to be the first song on the EP. This one is called Bathrobes and Towels. Dig this one.
What do you young guy with a high school education, and I wasn't a very good student. I am from the minimum wage working world. That was what I was doing before I joined Black Flag. I was earning $3.50 an hour scooping ice cream and taking inventory and making the nightly deposit at a Haagen-Dazs in Washington, D.C. I am basically equipped to park your car, sweep up after your pet, and put fries in a bag as you drive by a box on the side of a Wendy's. Person, you will find in your life that sometimes your great ambitions will be momentarily stymied, thwarted, marginalized by those who were perhaps luckier, come from money, where more doors opened, where college was a given. It was not a student loan. It was something that Dad paid for. To where an ease and confidence in life was almost a birthright, where for you, it was a very hard climb. Okay, that happens all the time.
All right, that was yeah, I know. That was Bathrobes and Towels, a brand new MisterSusan song. Now, obviously, we discussed the title already, which is an awesome name for it. But this started off, I almost. I'm gonna compare it to Moving the Windows because it got that thundering drums kind of rolling in, but it kept going for a while, and then with that little escalation to almost a bridge where you kind of go into like a little smooth jazz breakdown, and you kind of pick it back up again.
Why are you laughing?
We like to add in a bit of jazz. A little bit of everything for everyone.
No, nothing wrong with that. Just very interesting. And with the Henry Rollins overlay, I mean, what with this song, what kind of led you to think that, you know, like this would be a perfect fit for the song?
Well, I listened to the YouTube videos of Henry with his wisdom, explaining to. In actual fact, I think the feature was about explaining to a young American how they should live their life. So not in a preachy way, but just explaining how you may get dealt all the cards, you may get all the money, or you may get nothing. That just means you have to work a bit harder. And that was the basic theme of the song. It's about class, really.
No, fair enough. I mean, I just, like I said, sometimes like I'll listen to the lyric when I'm listening to lyrics. I don't. I mean, obviously everybody's always gonna have their own opinion of what it means to them. But sometimes like I'll sit there and I mean, it's everything kind of builds a song together. Like music breaks the whole thing, but sometimes like I'm listening and I'm not quite sure what to make of it, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. It's trying to think like, well, like not how does this make sense, but it's a good idea, and I'm trying to kind of tie everything in together. And sometimes it's I mean, like I said, it's just one of those things like I enjoy doing, but sometimes I'm listening to it and I can't really tie everything in. So it's like, oh, it makes sense. I mean, this is cool, but where are we going with this? But it's a good thing because every time I listen to it, I know like I kind of either get a little bit more out of it, or going from the laptop, putting the headphones on, you hear a lot more. So it's one of those songs that for me is a listening work in progress for the listener.
Yeah, I think some of the colloquialisms in the lyrics will probably throw people that are not used to hearing the sort of language we use in London. And the beginning of it is basically about kind of labourers and construction workers, because they tend to have this sort of uniform of sweatpants and drink Foster's lager, which is a really cheap lager that's meant to be Australian, that's brewed in Nottinghamshire or somewhere that tastes vile, and smoke a lot of fags. Fags over here are not what they are over there.
They're cigarettes, yes. Cigarette. Okay.
So don't smoke fags, obviously, because basically, stereotypically, that is kind of how the kind of working, the kind of entry level working people dress, unless they're stuck in a shop, like I do, selling stuff to people. And the flip side of that is that if you come from the home counties, and your parents are rich, you get horses and stuff to ride, and you get university and your education paid for, and that's happening more and more. The one thing I think everyone in common is that everyone likes to drink, and everyone needs something to take the edge off their lives, no matter what sort of walk of life they come from. So even if your life is a good life, sometimes you may still be wanting for something, and I think that's what we're trying to get across.
And that's a good point, because you're right. No matter how much you have, there's always something that you'll never ever get, and it's part of life.
Yeah.
No matter how rich or poor, there's that one thing that everybody's got, that one thing that they want so bad, but they'll never get it. But at the same time, too, for the most part, it doesn't consume you. Like some people get a little too extensive with that, but for most people, it's like it's like saying, well, if I win the lottery, I do this, this, and this.
Yeah,
it's that sort of thing, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, without getting too preachy, I mean, the overall sort of message of the song is that, if you don't get what you want straight away, it's not the end of the world. You can still get something. You can still get something good, and it's not,
Absolutely.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So. And some people like to smoke fags.
Ponies.
If you guys were with UK, you would not be getting away with this right now. So thankfully everybody knows what you're talking about, but what a way to end the interview, because guys, we're just about out of time here. But again, man, since it's your second time around, guys, I really do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to Man Noise coming out, because you can be damn straight that I'll be buying it and I'll be pushing it lots.
Lovely. Thanks.
So until next time, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm really glad this was a lot of fun again, like it was last time. So I'm looking forward to the next time, because I will love to have you back on when Man Noise does come out.
Lovely. Take care. See you later.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was MisterSusan, and what a funny bunch of guys. It's probably been just over a year, maybe just under that, since we last had him on, but talking about the